There are seasons in life when the world grows heavy, when the winds blow cold, and when our voices tremble too softly to be heard. In those moments, some people break, but some people become. I stand before you today not as someone defeated by silence, but as someone shaped by it. For silence is not the absence of strength. Oh no, it is the place where strength is born. My time may be hard, my path may be rough, but I am not finished. I am simply gathering myself, the way the night gathers the stars before it shines. And when the right moment comes, when destiny calls my name, the world will know exactly who I am. Silence has never been my enemy. It has been my shelter, my teacher, my quiet battlefield where I learned to rise without making noise. People often mistake silence for surrender, but surrender is loud in the soul. Silence is calm, controlled, and conscious. I do not speak because the world demands noise from me. I stay silent because I am gathering the strength to speak with truth, clarity, and unshakable conviction. In this silence, I am not shrinking, I am sharpening, I am not fading, I am forming. And though the world may not understand the storms I endure, it will one day understand the power I carry. There are moments in life where speaking too soon can weaken the message. So I hold my words the way a sculptor holds his final stroke, knowing timing is everything. My silence is not a retreat, it is a preparation for the moment when my spirit steps forward, unapologetically itself. I am learning that every difficult season teaches something essential, something the good days never bother to mention. Struggle molds the soul in ways comfort never could. So while my time may be hard, I do not bow in defeat. I bow only to gather my courage, to listen to the whispers of wisdom that rise in the quiet place within me. People may look at me now and think I am stuck, small, or unsure. Let them, for what they cannot see is the fire I protect inside me. It does not roar yet, but it glows steady, patient, waiting for the moment it can rise without fear of wind or darkness. I am not in a hurry to reveal myself. Greatness does not grow in haste. It grows the way dawn grows, slowly, softly, and then all at once. And when that moment comes, my silence will open like a door, and everything I have been building will step through with grace. I am learning to trust the timing of my life. Not every dream blooms in the season you expect. Not every victory announces itself in advance. Some triumphs are crafted quietly in the shadows before they shine boldly in the sun, and I too am being crafted. Every setback has shaped me, every disappointment has carved me, every quiet night has strengthened me. I am not waiting for the world to give me permission to rise. I am waiting for the moment that aligns with my purpose, where my voice will not be lost in the noise of others, but will stand firm, clear, and undeniable. So let the world wonder why I am silent now. Let them think what they may, for I know this truth in the deepest part of me. When my time comes, I will rise with a voice that carries the weight of every lesson, every tear, and every quiet victory I earned in the dark. When that day arrives, I will no longer need to tell the world who I am. My presence alone will say it for me. Your quiet moments are shaping a louder, stronger future, even if you cannot feel it yet. Life has a way of carving us in the stillness, molding our strength in the very moments when nothing seems to be moving. It is in the pauses, the breaks, the long breaths between storms that we learn what we are truly made of. When the world slows down and circumstances push us inward, that is when the soul begins to build a foundation steady enough to hold the weight of the dreams we carry. I have come to understand that quiet does not mean empty. Quiet means becoming, and in becoming there is power beyond measure. In these silent hours, I listen to the voice within me, the voice the world cannot hear. It is teaching me patience, teaching me courage, teaching me to respect the process even when the process feels like a delay. There is a rhythm in life that does not always match our urgency. Sometimes the universe slows us down not to punish us, but to prepare us. Because a future built in haste cannot survive the storms ahead. A future built in silence, in reflection, in steady inner work. Now that is a future that stands tall. So I embrace the hush around me, knowing it is shaping something stronger than noise could ever create. I have learned that strength grows quietly before it ever appears loudly. A seed breaks open underground long before it rises to meet the sun. A sunrise takes its shape behind the darkest hour before its first light softens the sky. And just like that, my strength is rising where no one can see it. Every small act of resilience, every brave decision made in private, every moment I choose hope over despair is preparing me for a future that echoes with purpose. And when the time comes, my steps will be bold, because they were built in the quiet, not forced in the chaos. There is beauty in the unseen work of the soul. People may overlook it, misunderstand it, or dismiss it because they cannot witness it happening. But that does not diminish its worth. What grows quietly grows deeply. What grows deeply stands long. I am reminded daily that I do not need the world to notice my growth for it to be happening. Transformation is not a performance, it is an unfolding, and I am unfolding into someone wiser, someone softer but stronger, someone who has learned to trust the timing of their own becoming. So while others may rush to prove themselves, I choose the path of steady becoming. I choose the quiet moments that build unshakable character. I choose the silence that teaches me how to rise without breaking. I choose the stillness that strengthens my foundation so that when I step forward, I do so with clarity, intention, and power. My future will not be loud because I forced it to be. It will be loud because it was shaped by every quiet moment I honored along the way. And when that future finally arrives, it will speak for me boldly and beautifully, without me needing to say a single word. Every storm teaches you how to rise higher, even when it feels like the rain will never stop. It is often in the moments when life is shaking you the hardest that you discover what will one day lift you the highest. Storms do not come to break you. They come to clear the path, to wash away what no longer belongs to you, to reveal the strength you didn't know you were storing in your bones. And though the thunder may frighten you and the winds may push you to your knees, there is a quiet truth hidden in the heart of every storm. You were built to outlast what tries to drown you. You were made to rise, not in spite of the storm, but because of it. In the middle of the chaos, it is easy to believe you are losing your way, but sometimes losing your way is how you find a deeper part of yourself. Storms strip away the unnecessary. They peel off the layers of doubt, fear, and hesitation that held you back when the skies were clear. They force you to stand face to face with your own courage. And when you discover that you can still breathe even when the world feels heavy, that you can still hope even when everything feels uncertain, you begin to realize how powerful you truly are. That realization is what makes you rise higher than before. When the winds of life bend you, they are not trying to break you. They are teaching you how to be flexible, how to sway without falling, how to bow without surrendering. Every time you stand back up after being pushed down, your spirit grows taller, stronger, and wiser. Rising isn't always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's as simple as deciding to keep going when everything inside you whispers to stop. Sometimes rising looks like surviving a day you thought would destroy you. And every one of those silent victories becomes a stepping stone to a higher version of yourself. The storms you survive become the stories you carry. They become the wisdom in your voice, the steadiness in your walk, the compassion in your heart. Those who have faced storms learn to walk with a grace that only comes from knowing pain and overcoming it. They learn to listen more deeply, love more gently, and stand more firmly. They learn that rising is not just about climbing above the storm. It's about emerging from it with a heart that is still open, still hopeful, still willing to try again. So if you find yourself in a storm now, do not fear it. Do not curse it. Do not run from it. Walk through it with your head lifted, knowing that every drop of rain is carving out a stronger version of you. The storm may be fierce, but so are you. And when it finally passes, and it will, You will rise with a clarity you didn't have before, with a courage you didn't know you possessed, and with a strength that only the storm could have taught you. And from that higher ground, you will look back not with regret, but with gratitude, knowing the storm was not your end, it was your beginning. Patience is not passive, it is strength in disguise, the kind that stands firm even when everything around you feels unsteady. People often confuse patience with waiting helplessly, but true patience is alive, intentional, and quietly powerful. It is the decision to hold your ground when your heart aches for progress. It is the courage to trust the process even when the process is painfully slow. Patience is the steady flame that refuses to go out, no matter how long the night lasts. It is not the absence of action, it is the presence of wisdom, the understanding that some things grow only when the soil is ready, the time is right, and the soul is strong enough to hold the blessing. There are moments when you want to rush, force, or demand movement in your life, but patience whispers to you that timing has its own divine rhythm. It reminds you that being still does not mean you are stuck. It means you are aligning. It means you are gathering every part of yourself so that when you do move, you move with purpose. Patience teaches you to breathe in seasons when nothing seems to change, to honor the quiet spaces where transformation begins. What you cannot see working on the surface is often working the hardest beneath it. Seeds do not sprout the moment they are planted. They rest, they settle, they prepare. And so do you. In a world that glorifies speed, patience becomes a rare kind of strength. It takes bravery to slow down when everyone else is racing ahead. It takes maturity to understand that not every door is meant to open the moment you knock. Sometimes delays protect you, guide you, or redirect you towards something far greater than what you were reaching for. Patience allows you to trust that the things meant for you cannot be taken, cannot be rushed, cannot be stolen by anyone's shadow or speed. What is yours will arrive with the kind of certainty that does not tremble. When you choose patience, you are choosing resilience. You are refusing to settle for something temporary out of fear that something permanent will never come. You are saying to life, I am strong enough to wait for what aligns with my spirit. And that is not weakness, that is power. It is the power to remain hopeful in the face of uncertainty, to stay grounded when doubt tries to uproot you, to believe in your future even when your present feels unkind. Patience builds a foundation in you that no disappointment can crack and no hardship can shake. So when life slows down, do not think of yourself as powerless. Think of yourself as preparing. Think of yourself as gathering strength in places the world cannot see. Because one day, when the timing finally unfolds in your favor, you will move with a grace and confidence carved from every moment you waited. And when that moment comes, you will not just step into your future, you will rise into it, steady and certain, carrying the quiet strength that patience taught you. Your identity is not defined by your current struggle, no matter how heavy it feels or how long it stays. Hard moments may shape you for a while, but they do not get to name you. Struggle is a chapter, not the title of your life. It is a season, not your story. And though this season may feel dark, uncertain, or overwhelming, it cannot erase the truth of who you are at your core. You are more than the pain you carry. You are more than the confusion you face. You are more than the setbacks that try to slow your steps. The essence of you, your strength, your dignity, your spirit, remains untouched beneath every hardship. There are times when struggle becomes so loud that you begin to hear it whisper lies. It tells you that you are not enough, that you are failing, that you are losing your worth. But those whispers are not truth. They are echoes of fear. Your worth is something the world did not give you, and struggle cannot take it away. Even when life shakes you, the real you remains anchored. Even when obstacles rise against you, your inner identity stands firm. You are allowed to bend, to falter, to pause, but do not believe for a second that your struggle is the measure of your value. If anything, struggle reveals your strength more honestly than success ever will. When everything is easy, you never truly see what you carry inside you. But in the hard moments, You notice your resilience, your courage, your determination. You notice the way you keep standing even when the ground feels unstable. You notice the way you keep trying even when things fall apart. The struggle doesn't define you, but it reveals you. It reveals your capacity to endure, your power to rebuild, your ability to rise even when rising feels impossible. There is greatness in surviving what was meant to break you. And though the world may look at your struggle and assume you are losing, they do not know the quiet victories you are gathering inside. They do not see the strength you are building silently, the wisdom you are learning patiently, the transformation happening beneath your scars. They do not hear the quiet promises you make to yourself to keep going. They only see the surface, but your identity lives far deeper than that. You are not what the world sees. You are the person who keeps breathing through storms no one else understands. There will come a day when the struggle that feels endless now will become a distant memory, a lesson, a stepping stone. And when you look back, you will see that the hard moments did not take anything from you. They gave you something. They gave you clarity. They gave you perspective. They gave you strength you didn't know you had. They shaped you, but did not define you. You will rise from this season with a clearer idea of who you are and a deeper pride in what you survived. So do not let your current struggle convince you that you are small or lost or broken. You are becoming, evolving, unfolding. You are growing into a version of yourself that could only be born through challenge and persistence. Your identity is written in your resilience, not in your hardship. And when this season passes, and it will, you will walk forward carrying the truth that has always lived within you. You are stronger than your struggle, and you are destined for more than this moment. When the time is right, your truth will speak without fear. It does not rush, it does not stumble, it does not apologize for its presence. Truth has a rhythm, and it knows when to arrive. It waits patiently for the moment when it can stand tall and be heard clearly, without interference, without compromise. And though you may feel silenced by circumstances or weighed down by doubt, your truth is not gone. It is simply waiting for its perfect stage. Life has a way of teaching us that some things must be prepared quietly, nurtured in patience, and protected until the world is ready to listen. There are times when fear whispers that your voice is too small, that no one will understand, that it is not the right time to speak. But those whispers are lies born from uncertainty. Truth is not fragile. It does not shrink when faced with hesitation or delay. The fear you feel is not a signal to stop. It is a signal that you are about to grow. Fear is the shadow that precedes your emergence, reminding you that something powerful is about to step forward. And when the moment arrives, your truth will not merely speak, it will resonate, it will ripple, it will leave a mark that cannot be erased. Speaking your truth requires courage, for it asks you to stand fully as yourself, unguarded and unapologetic. It asks you to step into the light, even if the world has been dim before. It asks you to claim your voice even when others have tried to silence it. And though it may take time to reach that place, the waiting is not wasted. Every moment of reflection, every pause, every struggle, every lesson learned, all of these prepare your voice to carry the weight of your truth with grace and power. When the time is right, your truth will speak so clearly that the echoes of your silence will no longer be remembered. Only the impact of your courage will remain. Your truth also carries freedom. It frees you from the need for permission, from the weight of expectations, from the burden of pretending to be someone else. Speaking your truth is not about proving anything to the world. It is about honoring yourself. It is about stepping fully into the life that belongs to you, refusing to hide the essence of who you are. And the world, whether it understands immediately or not, will recognize the authenticity of your presence. Because truth has a light in it that cannot be dimmed, a clarity that cannot be ignored, a power that grows stronger when you finally allow it to be seen. So if you feel quiet now, if your voice is still, do not despair. Do not think your story is incomplete or that your time has passed. Trust that your truth is learning patience, learning strength, learning the right way to reveal itself. And when that moment comes, it will be undeniable. Your words, your story, your presence will speak with a confidence and authority that no fear, no doubt, no hesitation could ever overshadow. The world will listen, not because you demanded it, but because the right time arrived and you were ready. Growth happens in the dark before it blossoms in the light, and yet we often forget this simple truth when shadows surround us. We see others thriving, we see successes celebrated, and we wonder why our own efforts remain hidden, quiet, seemingly unnoticed. But growth does not announce itself in the beginning. It works in secret, behind closed doors, in the stillness where no one is watching. The roots of who you are deepening, stretching, and strengthening cannot be seen from the surface. Every struggle, every challenge, every quiet choice to keep moving forward, even when it feels like nothing is changing, is preparing you for a light that will eventually find you. It is easy to grow impatient in the dark. It is easy to feel overlooked or forgotten. Yet the darkness is not the absence of possibility. It is the presence of preparation. Seeds buried in the soil do not sprout because they are hurried. They sprout when the conditions are right. And so it is with us. Every hard night, every period of waiting, every moment you feel invisible, your inner self is quietly stretching toward what it was always meant to become. Darkness is not a punishment. It is the canvas on which your resilience, patience, and determination are painted. There is something sacred about unseen growth. It allows you to experiment, to learn, to fall, and to rise without the scrutiny of others. In the dark, you confront your fears honestly because no one else is watching. You discover your strengths, your weaknesses, and the depths of your spirit. You become intimate with yourself in a way that only solitude and struggle can teach. And when the light finally reaches you, it is not surprising but inevitable, because you have done the quiet work that makes blooming unstoppable. Growth that happens in secrecy blooms with authenticity, confidence, and power. Many fear darkness, thinking that visible success is the only proof of progress. But the truth is that light without roots cannot endure. A flower that blooms too early, without the work of its roots, will wither quickly. The same is true for our own growth. The challenges we face, the long waits, the silent struggles, they are building the roots of our character. When the time comes to emerge into the light, we do not simply survive, we thrive. The strength, wisdom, and resilience cultivated in those hidden moments become the wings that carry us forward, far beyond what we could have imagined. So do not fear the dark and do not resent the waiting. Trust that every unseen effort, every silent choice, every small act of persistence is preparing you for the day when you will blossom fully. Trust that the shadows are shaping you into someone stronger, wiser, and more beautiful than you knew you could be. When your time comes, you will not only bloom, you will shine, and the world will finally see the fullness of your growth, the depth of your preparation, and the brilliance that only comes from having learned to thrive in the dark. Your spirit is learning, sharpening, becoming unshakable, even when the world tries to bend it, shake it, or question it. Life does not hand out strength on a silver platter. It is forged in the fires of challenge, in the quiet struggles no one notices, in the decisions to rise again when every part of you wants to surrender. Each trial, each disappointment, each moment of doubt is not meant to weaken you. It is meant to refine you. Like steel tempered by flame, your spirit is being made resilient, flexible, and enduring. It is learning to hold its ground, even when everything around it seems uncertain or chaotic. There are days when it feels as if the weight of the world is pressing down too heavily, and your spirit whispers that it cannot bear anymore. But this is when your spirit is learning its own depth. It is discovering the boundaries of fear, the strength that lies beneath exhaustion, and the courage to keep moving forward, even when the path is unclear. Every choice to keep going, every refusal to be defeated, every moment of endurance adds layers to your inner armor. The spirit that emerges from this process is no longer fragile or easily shaken. It is unbreakable, rooted in the experience of having survived storms that once seemed insurmountable. Becoming unshakable does not mean never feeling fear, sadness, or doubt. It means allowing those feelings to exist without surrendering to them. It means standing tall in your own truth, even when others question you, even when circumstances challenge you, even when the path ahead feels treacherous. Your spirit is learning that vulnerability is not weakness, but a foundation for strength. It is learning to move with grace in hardship, to act with courage in uncertainty, and to speak with confidence when the world demands proof of your worth. In every struggle, your spirit grows sharper, more discerning, more capable of navigating life with clarity. The process of sharpening the spirit is quiet and often invisible. People may see only the surface, your calm, your composure, your ability to carry on, and they may not recognize the countless battles fought in silence, the nights spent wrestling with doubt, or the inner victories that go unnoticed. But these unseen victories matter the most. They are what build a spirit that cannot be shaken, that does not crumble under criticism, that does not bend to the fleeting opinions of others. They are what make you resilient not just for today, but for every challenge that life will place in your path. Your unshakable spirit becomes a force, not because it avoids hardship, but because it learns from it. It learns patience, discernment, and endurance. It learns how to rise without resentment, how to persevere without despair, and how to shine even when the world seems dim. And when your time comes to step forward fully, the strength of your spirit will be undeniable. Others may have doubted, storms may have raged, and obstacles may have stood in your way. But your spirit, having learned, having sharpened, having become unshakable, will carry you into the life you are always meant to claim. Bad times are temporary, but the courage they build is eternal. The storms we face, the setbacks that knock us down, the moments that feel too heavy to bear, they are not meant to last forever. They are seasons, not destinies. Yet within those fleeting trials, something far more lasting is created. Courage. Courage is not always loud or dramatic. It is quiet. It is forged in the moments when you refuse to give up, when you take one more step despite fear, when you decide to rise again even after being broken. Bad times pass, but the courage that grows in response remains with you, shaping every choice, every action, every tomorrow. When life feels harsh and unfair, it is easy to focus only on the suffering, to believe that the hardship will define you. But hardship does not define, it transforms. Every challenge you endure leaves a mark, not of defeat, but of resilience. It teaches you to stand even when the ground trembles beneath your feet. It teaches you that you can bear more than you imagined, that your heart can hold both pain and hope at the same time, that your spirit can rise repeatedly, stronger each time. The courage cultivated in adversity is eternal because it becomes a part of who you are, a quiet power that can never be taken away. Courage born from hard times is different from courage born in comfort. It is deeper, rooted in experience and tempered by reality. It is the courage that allows you to face uncertainty with grace, to continue walking a path that seems impossible, to speak your truth when it would be easier to stay silent. Every hardship you survive adds a layer of strength, a depth of understanding, a confidence in your ability to overcome. That courage is not bound by time. It does not fade when circumstances improve. It travels with you, shaping your choices, giving you boldness, and reminding you that you are capable of more than you ever believed. The beauty of this courage is that it does not rely on recognition or applause. No one needs to see the nights you endured, the tears you held back, the fear you faced alone. What matters is that you faced them. What matters is that you kept going, that you refused to let the weight of bad times crush your spirit. The courage you build becomes a foundation on which you can construct a life of purpose, strength, and dignity. It becomes the quiet force that allows you to rise even higher when better days arrive, unafraid, unshaken, unstoppable. So when life brings storms, setbacks, or despair, remember that these moments are temporary, but the courage they instill is eternal. Lean into it, learn from it, let it strengthen you. Do not fear the struggle, because it is shaping a bravery that will carry you through all the challenges yet to come. One day, you will look back and realize that the trials you feared were never the end. They were the teachers, and the courage they left behind will echo through every victory you achieve, every dream you pursue, and every time you rise again. One day, your rise will be louder than their doubts, louder than the whispers of those who questioned you, louder than the shadows that tried to hold you back. Every word of disbelief, every skeptical glance, every assumption that you could not succeed, they are all fading echoes compared to the sound of your persistence. You may not see it yet, and the world may not recognize it now, but your time will come. And when it does, it will not be quiet or tentative. It will be bold, undeniable, and filled with the power of all the moments you chose to keep moving forward despite the doubts surrounding you. For too long, people will measure you by your failures, by your silence, by the struggles that they believe define you. But they do not see the work you have done in private, the lessons you have learned in solitude, the courage you have cultivated in moments when no one was watching. They cannot hear the quiet determination that grows inside you with every setback you overcome. And that is the beauty of your rise. It is not built to satisfy their expectations. It is built to fulfill the promise you have made to yourself, to honor the journey you have endured, and to demonstrate that your worth was never dependent on their belief. Doubt from others can feel heavy. It can feel like a chain around your ankles, a weight on your shoulders, a constant reminder that some people do not see your potential. But remember, doubt only has power if you let it. Every time you rise despite it, you weaken its hold. Every time you take a step forward when others said you could not, you prove that your actions speak louder than opinions. And when the day arrives that your accomplishments, your growth, and your truth are visible for all to see, the noise of doubt will be drowned out entirely by the sound of your rise. That rise is the proof that no obstacle, no insult, no assumption could ever stop the force you were meant to become. Your rise is not just a personal victory, it is a message to the world. It tells those who doubted that their assumptions were wrong, that judgment and criticism cannot define the trajectory of someone determined to fulfill their destiny. It tells those who struggled alongside you that perseverance matters, that patience matters, that believing in oneself matters. And most importantly, it tells you, the one who has endured so much, that all the silence, all the preparation, all the unseen work has led to a moment of undeniable triumph. It is a triumph that speaks not only in achievement, but in resilience, in strength, in the refusal to be defined by anything but your own truth. So hold on to this vision, even in the darkest moments. Keep moving, keep striving, keep believing in your power. The day will come when your rise will be so loud, so undeniable, so filled with the energy of every challenge you overcame, that the doubts of the world will no longer matter. They will be quiet, irrelevant, and behind you. And in that moment, you will realize that the journey, the silence, the patience, the courage was never wasted. It was all preparing you for a rise that would speak louder than anyone could have imagined, louder than any doubt, louder than life itself.